Hey y'all, it is so much happening in the world right now. Let's do a recap.
Okay, so you're still paying for genocide through your tax dollars, and people are still trying to convince you one colonizer is somehow less genocidal than another, and many people are still falling for it. The whole time there's just like this guy who's all just strategically back, or this lady. So anyways, while we were watching the Super Bowl thinking none of this matters or like ridiculous things to do, this happened.
Israel started bombing Rafah, and they have been using all of their military arsenals.
Meanwhile, in the Congo, where all our upgrades come from, the greed of colonizers spread to our kinfolk on Congo's border who, like all our colonizers, have stopped at nothing to get a piece of the wealth, even if it meant dropping 4,000 bombs on civilians. It's to the point where people can't even trust their own politicians in case they're also brought out by greed. But the Congolese people are determined to risk it all to vote for an actual democratic and populist president who won't sell them out. What can you do about it? Stop upgrading. Meanwhile, in Sudan, these two guys, also like our colonizers, have stopped at nothing to get at the resources of their country. Like nothing. All while the people are fighting for a real democracy. What role has the states played in all of this? You already know. Meddling. Trying to see who's gonna win, to see who they want to back and get their kicks in while they can, and pretending to care about all the brutality that they've been playing like some chess. A lot like colonizers did in the beginning of colonizing Africa. I'm just saying. So, the UN Security Council's 13 member countries voted in favor of a ceasefire in Palestine that has killed more than 29,000 people in Gaza and displaced more than 80% of the population. While we're over here chilling watching the Super Bowl, and the US vetoed it, y'all. The UK abstained. Which tracks for them. Did you know one veto could determine entire people's lives like that? Better know the structure of their organizations you're part of. That's essentially like a total consensus model, mysteriously spread throughout neoliberal cooperative organizations all over the states. Meanwhile, within the states, many nonprofits in this colonizer invaded land who are claiming to help ease the impacts of what the invaders did here in the US are also high-key becoming those same colonizers, predominantly by autocratic, that means anti-democratic, steering committees. Like the UN thing they did, they have no cut cards about lying to and not checking in with the people, all to grab up some grant money in the name of a couple drops of justice and whiteballing those trying to hold them accountable to the rest of it. Reed seeds don't fall far from the green tree, I guess, you know what I'm saying? And this is why we formed an anonymous group called the League of Concerned Citizens to hold these motherfuckers accountable. And that's where this girl comes in. Yes, me. Who made the fantastic freaking decision to stand up legally to an organization working to silence voices in the environmental justice movement. On a much bigger defining self-sacrifice, this young man right here, Aaron Bushnell, who served the US Air Force, was so fed up with how your president has been forcing young people like him to massacre brown babies and their families that he burnt himself and left his life savings to Palestinians. Also, right here in DC mayor proposed an omnibus bill that would pretty much criminalize everybody named mamas to make way for more gentrification. I know omnibus sounds like about a bus, but it's not. It just means a bunch of bills, a bunch of policies all in one. All while low-income people are still left among rats and mold until they get run out to make room for gentrification because greed. And the weather's confusing the birds in our bodies because we don't know when to stop consuming, which is all why we formed this, to cut the bullshit and keep the power and information in the hands of the people. So if you got information that's gonna help the people, pull up, ain't nobody blocking, join our advisory council, and we're gonna get it to the people no choice, and they're gonna give you their feedback and concerns in return, and we're gonna progress. You hear that? Nah, you in the back hating on the sideline, you hear that? So we're starting a chapter in DC and Baltimore. If you want to add your city as a chapter, holla at me and let's make it happen. Because one thing we not finna do is sit back and watch it all burn and excuse all the greed like it's supposed to be here, because it's not. Because what we do matters. Kindness matters, and it might all burn too, because the karma here is wild. But we still gotta do our part before our souls return to the oneness, because we not eating none of this cash at the pearly gates of other dimensions, you feel me? Hashtag do something. March 30th, spring equinox, come through to the One Love House from 1 to 4 p.m. Learn how to make Congolese food together in solidarity, get healed on, buy some bags of local produce, drink the incredible herbal teas of Dr. Yu, read passages of Kamon's book Nineveh, because Afrofuturism is now. Get it? Because we are the future? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's put our own magic into the world, y'all. Let's brew something.